Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Jack, you didn't talk about your passion this week.
Yeah, well, there's something that came up in the local newspaper about District 15, that's Palatine, where there's been, what's the name of that young lady lawyer that's been pestering them over there?
Mary Vanek?
I think that's it, and she's done a good job of it, but these people in District 15, and all the other districts too, they're very slow learners. And so they're some $9.6 million in hock for the coming year. And so they got to do some economizing, and they're doing some savings of $5,000 out of $9.6 million. And they're thinking of cutting out, the music and some of the other activities that parents would like to have in the schools. What these guys are not telling you is that 85% of what goes on in all these school districts is to pay the salaries of these twits that are making such a blithering high cost of educating your kids. $16,000 per child in the state. It's crazy being that expensive. So these guys are going to take the music lessons and so forth out of it. And they're thinking of other little tiny things that'll save $5,000 here and there. They're thinking of eliminating a few, it really comes hard, teaching positions. What they aren't telling you is that the teachers in these districts are getting, with the union's help, they'll get, say, 4% increase in the pay, and on top of that, they'll get a longevity increase that the unions aren't talking about, and they'll have these basket weaving classes that they take to get a master's degree to teach children in kindergarten and up and down the line. And all of that will mean that the increases in the school district, generally speaking, are going to be about 10% a year. 10% a year will double teaching salaries in 7 years. That's a rule of 72. So you want to double teachers' salaries. The reason we've gotten to a broke condition is you've been doubling the things in the last 7 years. They got to double up in the thing in many of these districts. And they're talking about, ooh, maybe they let 49 teachers go, but that would raise their class size to 28 kids. My son that's running my business with 600 people here, highly educated guy and all of that. In grammar school, their class size was 55 kids in a Catholic school, and they taught them a lot of good stuff. But there's lots got to go on in these school districts to get them back down to the ground where they educate for these kids at a decent price.
Rich, how do our listeners get in contact with you?
This is all done particularly, all this, the rotten stuff is because of the presence of the IEA, Illinois So-Called Education Association. They're the culprit.
Rich, how do our listeners get in contact with you? You're having an event coming up.
Sure, yeah. We're having the first annual Expo, American Business Person Expo. It's at the Stevens Convention Center on May 19th and 20th. You can go to the2012expo.com for more information on that. We're expecting thousands through the door. Keynote speakers, Michael Gerber, Tom Ziegler. There's about 8 keynote speakers total, so it'll be very informative for business owners or people looking to start up a business. Anybody in a management position. You're going to learn how to increase sales, marketing, exposure, et cetera. About 125 vendors. We just signed our gold sponsor, 560 AM. So
wonderful.
The2012expo.com or my show, AmericanBusinessPerson.com.
Well, thank you for joining us. It's been an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
Please be sure to catch us back here next Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560. That's WIND, 8 a.m. on AM 560, Champion News Talk Radio. And you can look us up online at championnews.net. Get those teachers' pensions on championnews.net. Make it a great week.